riguarda architettura e design. Questo è un polo straordinario, quello di Mantova. Io vengo da un altro polo straordinario, che è quello di lei, con il nostro prorettore in sala, la professoressa Greco. Sono due piccoli microcosmi e devo dire che essere qua al Bibiena, sapete, no, che un mese dopo che il Bibiena venne fondato, Leopold Mozart ci portò Wolfgang Amadeus a farci un concerto, quindi siamo in un luogo veramente speciale. Teatro scientifico però, quindi teatro dedicato, illuminista, alla scienza, alla conoscenza. E oggi siamo qui con un grandissimo maestro, Kengo Kuma, che ovviamente si definisce un archistar, però più che un archistar, tante volte definisce una distanza. Lui è un sensei, sensei significa maestro in giapponese. E quello che lui ci darà oggi con le sue architetture, io faccio un'introduzione veramente haiku, 2 secondi, vedrete, esprime l'umanità anche di questo autore. Lo dico e dopo traduco forse solo questa frase: I apologize if I speak in Italian for all the English speaking, but Kuma-san will speak, Kuma-sensei will speak in English. Quindi lui parlerà in inglese. But at the end I give you this information, che la do anche agli studenti italiani. Se avremo tempo, se vi mettete in fila dritti e volete farvi firmare un autografo, vi tengo Kuma qua davanti. Però lo dico perché poi c'è un po' di ressa sempre alla fine, quindi preferisco non dimenticarlo. Allora, introducendo con un haiku, prendo Basho Matsuo, grandissimo poeta giapponese, che diceva, lui era un poeta: poesia è vivere una vita bella, vivere la poesia è meglio che scriverla. Lui che era un poeta. E come in realtà vive l'architettura? La fa, la sperimenta, tocca i materiali, non parte mai da una forma. La forma si genera attraverso uno studio che parte dalla microparticella, come vedrete. Le opere quindi sono sempre figlie di un genius loci, ma che anche un genius rerum, un genius materi, che parte veramente dalla quella che lui ha definito come la teoria della particellizzazione, del modulo materiale. Un'altra cosa interessante è che noi in Occidente filosoficamente siamo legati a 4 principi: terra, aria, acqua e fuoco. Gli orientali, soprattutto i giapponesi, hanno il quinto elemento, che è il vuoto. Allora prestate attenzione all'importanza del vuoto in Kuma, che come nella musica è la pausa, il ma, tra l'altro Mantova architettura è questo, è la sospensione, è il momento nel teatro che arriva prima della battuta, è un momento speciale, nel teatro no, per esempio, no? Che è fatto di vuoti. Vedrete la porosità, vuoti vuol dire concavità, congressità esterna in un volume normalmente, e porosità, il terzo vuoto di Kuma. La parte del tutto, se vi piace di più Hegel, vedete un po' cosa vi stimola, perché in realtà l'architettura non va mai spiegata, si spiega da sé, va vissuta, come diceva Zeli, va percorsa. E una cosa che vi consiglio, un libricino che ha regalato di recente proprio al professor Bucci, Kengo Kuma, un piccolo libro, Small Architecture, Natural Architecture, Kengo Kuma, straordinario, nello spiegarvi come, vi farà vedere, spesso partendo da piccoli esercizi fatti col Kuma Lab, con cui peraltro anche noi del Politecnico collaboriamo, si arriva poi allo sviluppo di strutture più complesse. E come sia importante questa piccola architettura è anche il rapporto con la natura. Di recente abbiamo fatto un'opera che abbiamo inaugurato domenica, che se andate ad Arte Sella, 2 ore da qua, l'anno prossimo ci sarà un'opera seguita proprio da Bucci e dalla professoressa Bogoni col maestro Edoardo Soto del Mura. Questo è il nodo generatore dell'opera, è in scala 1:5, in realtà il nodo è alto, un'asta di questa è alta 1 metro per 30 cm, spessa 58 mm, che definisce il kodama che vedrete alla fine. Quindi da un unico elemento una struttura, una forma che si genera. E concludo proprio con questo perché oltre all'importanza con la materia c'è l'importanza del rapporto con la natura. Friedrich Nietzsche diceva che stiamo così bene nella natura perché non ha nessuna opinione di noi. Questo è molto interessante, ne parlavamo prima con Kengo. Lui ha fatto una bellissima lecture che si intitola Power of Nature, Power of Place. Io non vorrei andare oltre, the stage is yours, Kengo Kuma.
Thank you, Marco. I'd like to a little bit. Today, I want to speak about the history to Kodama project. This is a mock-up that we made to test the Kodama system. And in Albacea, as north, we just finished Kodama Pavilion. But Kodama Pavilion is very symbolic pavilions which can show the philosophy of our practice. So in one word, I can say, I want to change the material from concrete to natural material. In 20th century, as you know, the goal of the century, goal of the period was to achieve big volume, because we needed the big skyscrapers, we needed big shopping centers, a big theme park, and the only solution at that period was create the big, huge warring volume by the concrete. Concrete is an appropriate material to achieve that kind of bigness. But before the 20th century, the people were working with the small unit, as a brick, stone, something. It's wood, especially because people wanted to control architecture by themselves. And there's a very different attitude. And I want to go back to that kind of system. It's going back to simple unit, the simple as a particle to create anything. And before going to deep discussion, I want to show some example by using those as images.
I ask a little bit, se possiamo avere un po' di luce.
The first project, as I show you today, was completed in 2000. It is a Hiroshige Museum. And Hiroshige was a very important Japanese artist. He was living in 19th century, but he was a kind of ukiyo-e artist. But more than ukiyo artist, his influence on Western cultures and Western architecture was huge. As one example, it was as an influence on Impressionism, Van Gogh. As Van Gogh, Cézanne, and Monet, they loved Hiroshige. They collected Hiroshige very much. And the Hiroshige's method of Hiroshige was to use a simple particle to achieve any atmospheres, any spaces. And Van Gogh actually wrote about Hiroshige. I have three masters, three mentors. Rembrandt from Dutch, the Cézanne, same generation, his best, he thought. And third is Hiroshige. It's very strange. Why he mentioned Japanese artists, one of the mentors? Because he learned many methods from Hiroshige. And also, Frank Lloyd Wright, the American artist, you know, so he as mentioned, as two Japanese artists influenced me a lot. Without them, I couldn't achieve my works. Hiroshige and Tenshin Okakura. And Tenshin Okakura is a book of tea. He's a very famous writer of book of tea. He wrote that book in 1906. And then, so I was asked to design Hiroshige Museum. It's very simple. So shape-wise, it's as simple as possible. And also material-wise, also very simple. I only use local cedro, cedar cedro. So, and in the one as a single size dimension, 3 centimeters, 6 centimeters is a dimension one as a unit. And then repeat every 12 centimeters. And by using that simple unit, I want to create the richness of the space. The roof is also covered by that unit, so the material, shadow, 3 centimeters, 6 centimeters. And you can see the detail of the roof. And another important thing is the void under the roof. This void was to create connection to the forest. This is a location of Hiroshige Museum. As a Japanese village was always with the forest, the sit as edge of forest, because the people's life and people's economy as all relied on the natural heritage of forest. And then people called those forests Sato Yama. And the Sato means a village. Yama means a mountain. Village, mountain. It is not wild mountain. It is part of their life. And they, as a maintainers of village, as a forest, is very carefully. It is a kind of as a sustainable cycle. And with that system, the Japanese could maintain the forest for a long time. Still, the 70% of Japanese land is forest. It is amazingly high. It's also in China, so already forests were gone, and the Korea forests were gone. So in Japan, so with that maintenance system, with that lifestyle, the people can keep the kind of the rich forest. And the secret is a shrine. The shrine is always as the edge of forest. The people build shrine. The shrine is a very different from the position of the Western Church. Western Church is in the center of the city, but the Japanese religious sport, the temple, shrine and temple, always sit at the edge of forest, because the people send the message to the community. As if we destroy forest, we cannot survive anymore. And then the people build the shrines, and the shrine is a strong message through the generations. But in 20th century, even in Japan, we forgot that message. And the mountains was not in good condition, and abandoned. That system was actually abandoned. And I designed this museum, and I designed this void space. And then I tried to connect village centers and mountain again by the void. And void, as Mark mentioned, ma, and void is the same meaning. The ma is very important as a concept of Japanese culture. In music, the ma, space between notes, is very important. Here, as Amadeus played, as a ma is very, very important. And literature is a haiku. So ma is very, very important. Haiku is very, very short, but the void between the word has more importance than the word itself. And they actually, Mantova was visited this village, and he left one beautiful haiku in this village. And the void here, this is a void, this is a void, so which connect village and forest again. That is the goal of this project. And the plan, this is a void, and the material. The most of the material came from the mountain behind. The mountains, we have a beautiful for the Teatro, as we try to use Teatro as possible as we can. There's the layers of Teatro, the filters of Teatro was seeding by Teatro, and special effect of filter. And the interior, the stone from the village, craftsman village made this paper screen as a filtering again. And in China, I also try to find the local material. The site is structure is Great Wall, the biggest structure in the world. And as material-wise, I try to use the local material, and also I want to show the respect to Great Wall, idea of Great Wall. Great Wall is following the topography, same as this project. The building is following the topography, not cutting the topography. And we can preserve the vegetation, we can preserve green. And Great Wall is here, the bamboo is here. The bamboo, again, is the same dimension. The 6 centimeters diameter, 6 centimeters void, 6, 6, 6, 6, repeating. Entrance, entrance. And this is a central space. And people, we call it tea ceremony house. The tea ceremony is very important for Chinese and Japanese. So because through the special experience, people can feel the relationship between nature and human. And generally, I should talk about Italy. In Milan, 2007, I designed this small pavilion. Now from this small pavilion, we started the new direction. For this small pavilion, I got a hint from this small toy for kids. This is a very unique system. You can see 3 different joints. We can combine 3 different joints to fix the joinery without any nail and without any glue. And that system is very similar to the Kodama system. And the Kodama is also doesn't use nail or steel. The steel joint. And moisture and humidity work together to make it fixed. And the same ideas is realized in that Chidori toy. And the reason why I found this system is we try to bring every material from Japan. So pre-cut in Japan, but now in Kodama we did in Italy, but at the first project, so we try to bring from Japan, and also we try to construct the pavilion as a student. It's a kind of democracy. It's one of the goals for my practice. Natural material, democratic way, construct by ourselves. And this was the joint. And 1 week, the student achieved this pavilion. And after the completion of that, I came back to Japan to decide to make permanent building by the same system. It was not easy because joinery was 6 centimeters by 6 centimeters. By Japanese building code, the minimum size was 9 centimeters by 9 centimeters. But it is kind of illegal. But so we worked with engineer, very good engineer, Sato Sensei, and we could get a special permission by 6 centimeters by 6 centimeters. In case of Chidori in Milano, 3 centimeters by 3 centimeters. But it's a temporary pavilion, permanent building, 6 centimeters by 6 centimeters. It's a very exceptional case. Professor Sato tested this material, and he said, yes, 6 centimeters is enough material to achieve this as a 10-meter structure. And and we achieved this. And no column and no beam. There's only 6 centimeters by 6 centimeters as a good create this 10 meters high building. This is interior. This again is a simple system. We didn't add shelf system on the structure. Structure itself is shelf and furniture. This is a simplest system. By simple material can achieve anything. This is my dream. So look at the ceiling of the building. Entrance of the building. And after that, I tried the wooden bridge. This is the south of Japan. The forest was very deep. And we tried to use local material, over cheddar again. And as a note is using the big glue gun. The big glue gun reminds me of the dimension of concrete structure. And this is not fitting this environment. And there's every unit as was under 30 centimeters. This interior of the bridge, the people can stay in an apartment in the bridge. And the same Yusuhara village, as we designed a small hotel inspired by this small tea house. And those tea houses were very, very popular before 19th century. But unfortunately, it is very difficult to find a craftsman who can work with thatch. Because the Japanese government has a building code after Second World War, and basically prohibited to use thatch for the local building. Now the government is changing, but the craftsmanship almost gone. The facade were made by thatch. And thatch is very good for sustainability and also can control humidity in a very natural way. And Starbucks is as a global company, but one day they came to us to design a special Starbucks in front of this old temple. It was built in 919. It's a very old temple. The temple is here, the main approach. There is a side for Starbucks. And we propose again a very unique structural system. This is the same as Chidori. But Chidori is perpendicular, and this has a diagonal. But the size, dimension of each unit is the same, 6 by 6. And this is not decoration. This is a structure, and there's the carpenters carefully made the joint. And the Professor Sato, we are working with this project, he went aside very often, and he checks. He sometimes upset. This is structure, not decoration. And he checks every joint, and it's very, very tough work. But finally, we could achieve this quality. after, the next challenge is make 3-story building by this hell joint system. Hell joint is the name of that kind of joint system. The reason is the hell is cannot be returned. And if we fix, nobody can dismantle the joint. This is
I just translate. Questo è chiamato il giunto infernale, perché dall'inferno non si torna. Una volta montato il giunto diagonale non si può più smontare.
And again, this is not decoration. Those 6 by 6 the unit, they are supporting the building itself. This is the interior. So we want to create a forest in the center of Tokyo. It's a rooftop. That shows the system how to fix the hell joint. The bigger building in Tokyo, we also try to use wood. Asakusa is oldest district in Tokyo, so in the centers we have a very interesting temple complex. It's an agora, main building, and galleria, it's a gate. And the total experience is important for us. And in front of the gate, so we designed this building. Historically, the temple was big, and the other buildings were small little buildings, but now the big concrete buildings are surrounding the temple. I don't like concrete big volume. And then we divide the concrete volume to that size, and so we can have this ventilation system, and we can have the sexual house, and it's very intimate. This is a rendering. So we show it to the city. And this is the realization of the building. This is the interior. These are small theaters, the rooftop gardens. And in Switzerland, we also try to use wood for the contemporary campus. The campus is a EPFL, as I call Polytechnique, as a Federation, Lausanne. This is the campus was like that. Boxes of complete steel building. But we tried to introduce the natural material into the campus, and there's also got a hint from the vernacular, the small houses. But we add some contemporary technology. So what we add is this steel plate. The wooden columns were sandwiched by those porous steel plate, and then every dimension of the columns are 12 centimeters, because we are controlling the thickness of the steel as a percentage of the steel and wood, and then we can achieve every column has the same dimension, repeating 12, 12, 12, 12, 12. The span is different and height is different, but still the dimension of the column is consistent. You can see the detail of steel plate and the wooden clamps, the wooden plank. This shows the section of the collapse. We also did use the stone roof. It's also a vernacular element of the place. Interiors. Even for university, I want to use local natural material. And in America, again, we try to use local material and to match the environment. The Japanese garden in Portland is a kind of cultural center in America. The location is like that. It's like that. It's a big American Douglas forest. The forest is very deep and dark. And I want to use the green roof in the forest. Some Japanese old buildings has had moss on the roof. I got a hint from the moss roof, but very contemporary technology. We didn't use the mat. The materials is a porous ceramic panels, very light material. It's just 3 centimeters. We don't need soil. From ceramic panels, the green can grow. And it's openable totally. Also my dream is a merge exterior and interior. In the 20th century, as a modernism tried to use transparent glass to create integrity. But furthermore, I want to go to the next step. It's totally one consistent and continuous space. And like that. If weather is good, we can open it up. And actually, more than 50% of the years they are using it as open. And American local cedars was used for the interior. And in Scotland, the UK, we are finishing this museum, Bibiena in Dundee, Scotland. London is very classical, of course, but in Scotland, I want to show the beauty of nature in the building. In 20th century, the goal of architecture was create contrast. The building should have that strong contrast from nature, but there, I want to create the kind of harmony to environment. The location-wise, we push the building into the river, and there's most of the building in 20th century was separated from the nature and separated from the landscape. But in this case, I want to bring the people to the waterfront. Then push the building, the waters, and also we designed that landscape to merge land and water. And the cliff is always between land and water. And then finally, we could achieve this effect. The opening of the museum is September 15, and it's almost completed. And also the material. I try to find the appropriate material which people feel topography. So finally I found the precast concrete the not concrete textures. The aggregate we put in was very rough, small stones, and we exposed that stones as possible, and then the texture is much rougher than normal precast concrete. And there's a Scottish river, Scottish wild environment, and so we match the building. So again, I want to emphasize the importance of the hall. In Hiroshima Museum, we designed a hall which connects Satoyama and the village. And Tori is like that. Tori is a kind of a gate which connects nature and the city. And this is a gate, this Tori is working like that. This axis is connecting to the axis of main street of the city. And from the main street, people can see the hall, which show us the beauty of nature in the city. And in 20th century, city and nature was separated. And before the building was planned, there are the factories, warehouses, a separate city and waterfront. It happens everywhere. Mantova is not. Mantova lake and city is about one building, it's a beautiful integration. But most of the city in 20th century, water and city is separated. So I try to recover as a continuity of city and as a place. It's a wooden palace, and we can see the rivers from the window, small window. And in Australia, we are constructing this as a city unique complex. It's a marketplace for the plaza, and library for the community, and kindergartens, and restaurants, that kind of complex. And we wrapped that complex by using a wooden plank. And there is a small cap for wooden plank. This is a small cap. This is another. And already Sydney people gave this building a nickname. It's a ramen building. Ramen is a Japanese noodle, Japanese pasta. And Tariorini, Japanese Tariorini, Tariorini building in Sydney. Yes. And these national stadiums, maybe you are interested in the national stadium. Construction is already 60% done in the big forest of Tokyo. So this big forest is very unusual, very unique in Tokyo. Most of Tokyo is like that, but only in these areas we have forest. And how to match the forest is the goal of this project. And I make the building as low as possible, and I try to use wood for protagonist of the building. And so again, the size of the wood is the same, 10.5 centimeters and 3 centimeters depth. All the wooden plank has the same dimension. And the 10.5, that dimension was as a most common, as an usual dimension for Japanese small houses. As I mentioned, the 9 centimeters is the minimum size for the column, and 10.5 as a size is most circulated as a dimension. And then it is easy to get and from everywhere in Japan. And finally, so we can use the cedar from every district means 47 prefectures in Japan were used for the stadium. And the south part of the building, we do use a chedro from south of Japan. This is, Kyushu, Okinawa, those trees are here. And north gate, it is Hokkaido, Tohoku, those. And people can find, this chedro is from my place. This chedro is from my place. Yeah, and so we are trying to find some appli to take the pictures and to get the information of the place. And this is a vegetation is also integrated with the building. Mostly those is a wood is a wild plants from Tokyo area. It is easy to grow, easy to maintain. But as a basic idea for the facade is this pagoda. This pagoda, this is a Horyuji temple pagoda, was built as a 697, 7th century building. Still survived because it's a very unique section. And the wood, those plants is slidable. It has had damage from the edge. And if there's some damage, there are found. The people can push out the element. And then it is a kind of sustainable maintenance system. This is amazing. Even 7th century, he found that system. And then it is the oldest of the building. It's a history, and we try to get a hint from those buildings. Please look at this. This is a 5-story pagoda. Wooden sticks are protected by the sections. And I explained the life of this building for the competition many times. And also the interiors, and the wood is used for the structure of the building. And natural ventilation was simulated. And the length and angle of this part is carefully determined by the simulation of natural wind, to bring natural wind, go and create this circulation. Some recycled materials were used here. And before going to Kodama, I want to show the small project. There's a polyester tank used for construction site. As a Museum of Modern Art New York, we are invited to show this system. As a polyester tank for as a democratic construction system. And the good thing, as a unique thing for this is similar to human body. The liquid can flow in the building. And the normal building, the structure and the skin and pipes is not integrated. But this building is a structure, and water can flow in the structure, and no need to have finish. And there is a new integrated system. So we put a pink liquid to show the existence of the liquid. And this is a heat collector, and the water is flowing in the building, in the structure of the building. Bed, bath, and those systems are totally integrated. The students, again, participated in the construction. And the pipes are connecting those tanks. This is interior. small bed, as a Japanese-sized bed. And the uniqueness of this system is it is not connected with infrastructure. And normally, in 20th century, we invented infrastructure, and every building has no autonomy. Is connected with external infrastructure. But this building is autonomy, independent. I think that kind of independence is necessary for future. Maybe we will have a disaster, as a tsunami, and tsunami, as the infrastructure was cut, sometimes 1 year, and the people was facing a very difficult situation. And the Casa umbrellas, I'm going to Italy again. It's a project for Milano Triennale, 2008.
Traduco una cosa, casa in giapponese significa ombrello. It's true?
Yes, yes. The starting of the project is a kind of joke. Now, umbrella, they gave us the title Casa, and my answer is Casa is Casa. It's umbrella. The umbrella is not normal umbrella. Umbrella has such unique shape. And Back Minister Flowers, I respected him very much. He has invented many flower doors. One of the solutions by him is the 15 facet is a good number for a dome. And the same as me is the 15 umbrella that can make one dome. And we brought 15 umbrella to Milan, to Triennale Milan. The 15 students, Italian student, the Japanese student work together to start constructions. I mean, in 5 hours, they can make it. The interior is bigger than I expected. The joint of umbrella is zipper. Like that. It's a small windows. It's a small door. As a material, this is a waterproof seat. This is a Dupont production, which is high type. And the students want to stay there. Yes. Eating, drinking, and sleeping here. And the idea behind the system is how to survive after tsunami. And actually in Tohoku tsunami, after the tsunami, the only thing they could was escape to the mountain. But if we have this umbrella, we can build the house by ourselves. If we can find 15 umbrella, so we can make this temporary house by ourselves. And the Tmiki is a similar idea to the Kodama. You know Yuichi Sakamoto was a musician. He is now acting as the leader of NPO More Trees. And he tried to support Japanese forestry. And by his request, we designed this Tsuki. This is as a Mangiarotti. The design, the shelf system, the triangle. It is a little bit similar idea. The normal tsumiki is very solid, but this tsumiki is very transparent and very flexible. ceramic color is another achievement in the area. So we did use the ceramic panels as a part of structure of the monument. And the vertical element is a stainless pipe, 1 centimeter diameter, and the horizontal element is a ceramic tile itself. And in 20th century, very opposite. Concrete structures cladded by ceramic tiles, but this was used ceramic tile as a structure element. As engineers calculated. And wooden small houses is also my recent project. The wooden trailer house in 20th century is very American. It's a steel and aluminum, like as a automobile. But I want to go back to natural material. This is a box. Has this effect, has that atmosphere. It's in the center of Tokyo. People are surprised to see this. And so we found a very appropriate place between the building. And so counters, wooden counters. And the pioneer is here. And so finally, as Professor Marco Imperadori from Bibiena, we worked together for a long time to achieve this unique pavilion. And so this is a rendering. And first time I met with Marco as a very special carpenters. He showed me this one. And the joint system was very precise and also very strong as well, because only 1 millimeter tolerance is here allowed. And that means with moistures and the pressures happened and it was tied together strongly. And it's same as Japanese carpenters. Japanese carpenters didn't trust the metal, because metal it looks strong, but actually it is weak. So it would last, and most of Japanese old buildings didn't use metal. That's the main reason. So they have long life, 1,400 years. So if we relied on metal, maybe the building could not have such a long life. Because nature, most strong thing in the world is nature itself. And moisture, humidity, it's part of nature. And this shows us the joinery system. It's a mock-up. So we tested many geometry. And it's actually, we've introduced the spiral in the structure. It is not stacking. It's a spiral connecting the basement and the top of the building in a very organic way. So this is a mock-up, one-to-one mock-up. And we did use a large book. And this is the first time, Teatro. This is for tested farm. Well, its size is just this is oak. And in the centers, we try to create void. The void is very important. So we can have this ceremony in the center of the space. It's a very special tea ceremony. This is the reality. So, Alcacera gave us a very interesting spot, interesting void in the forest. The stepping stone is very important. And Professor Marco designed the stepping stone. And as a Japanese garden, the stepping stone is the most important part. The stepping stone and the pitch of the stone is to control the speed of walking. And the surface of the stone is also to control the atmospheres of the space. As if I want to make the formal space, the surface is flat, as if we want to make some casual feeling to the rough surface. And then the stepping stone is not only for the visual effect, it is controlling the movement of our body. As the people can sit and get a special experience in the forest. In Tokyo, I did my own exhibition in Tokyo Station Gallery last month. And the Kodama was one of the protagonists of the exhibition. And I showed the system of Kodama by using that mockup. And also we are selling these small pieces in the museum shop. So already sold out. Yeah, that's the end of my lectures. And today I show many projects. But behind those projects, a single idea. Going back to material, going back to conversation. Thank you very much.